We are now officially 5 weeks into the fantasy basketball season, and the waiver wire is starting to look a lot different than it did on opening night. Those early hidden gems, the breakout rookies, the overlooked role players, the guys everyone slept on during draft day, they're pretty much all gone at this point. Now we're entering the part of the season where winning your fantasy league comes down to something else entirely. Spotting the rotation shifts, reacting to injuries, and understanding how coaching changes will change fantasy predictions. And with that being said, welcome back to The Corner, your #1 destination for everything fantasy basketball related. If you're serious about winning your league this year, and if you want to stay ahead of every single trend, every breakout, and every single waiver wire opportunity, you're in the right place. Every single video on the channel is designed to give you an edge over the rest of your league. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. It's time to lock in. Now let's get into the video. And as I'm recording this, I just watched the Rockets knock off the Magic in a very thrilling game. So it's a little bit late and I'm a little bit tired. So the energy may be a little bit down, but don't worry guys, the waiver wires are still coming through today. First up, we have the Dallas Mavericks with Brandon Williams, and the Mavericks have been searching for stability at the point guard position all season long. With Cooper Flag now leading the team and Anthony Davis being sidelined with his injury, the Mavs have been shuffling lineups in and out, trying to find someone who can complement Flag's playmaking ability and keep the offense afloat while key players are missing for the Mavericks. And out of nowhere, it looks like they got someone with this guy named Brandon Williams. And Williams is currently on a 2-way contract, which usually means he is going to be inconsistent and he's going to have inconsistent minutes and uncertain roles on the court. But that has not stopped him from taking full advantage of his opportunity right now in Dallas. Every time he's been on the floor, he's brought the energy, the pace, and real playmaking value to the team. He's attacking the rim, pushing the tempo, and making smart reads night in and night out. And this is exactly what the Mavericks needed. Because of that, he's now earned the job over D'Angelo Russell, and honestly, he looks the part of a real NBA player. He fits well next to Cooper Flag, he gives Mavericks a true connector guard, and he's playing with the confidence of someone who's trying to secure a permanent roster spot. If Brandon Williams is in your league and he is free, you need to go pick him up right now. I don't think this is a long-term rest of season hold by any means. Once Anthony Davis returns and the rotation settles, his minutes could start to get squeezed, especially when Kyrie Irving comes back as well. But on the short term, and plus with the Mavericks playing 4 games upcoming week, he could provide a lot of real-life value. Whether you need assists, scoring from the guard spot, or just high opportunity streamer with upside, Brandon Williams checks all the boxes, and he's a low-risk, high-reward pickup who can help you win this week before the Mavericks eventually start to get healthy again. Next up on this list, we have Tim Hardaway Jr. And just to be clear, I'm about to break one of my famous fantasy rules, and that is do not pick up anybody who is on the Nuggets, who is not named Jokic, and who is not named Murray. I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm breaking that rule for this player. Tim Hardaway Jr. has definitely been streaky at times this year for the Nuggets, but over the last couple of weeks, he has started to define his role on the team. He's basically became their pressure valve scorer, the guy who punishes defenses when they load up too much on Jokic or too much on Murray. And when you look at his game logs, yeah, there are some noticeable dips there, but overall, he gives you a safe fantasy floor with the upside to spike on any night he gets hot. Now, let me get one thing clear when it comes to Tim Hardaway Jr. This is not a player if you're in a shallow league. If you're in an 8-team, 10-team league, you do not need to pick up Tim Hardaway at all. There are better options out there on the waiver wire with higher upside, but in deeper formats, especially 12 teams and more, he absolutely should be a person that you pick up as a short-term streamer. This is not a lock him in and forget type player, but if you need points, threes, and a guy who's playing consistent minutes every single night, Hardaway is a smart, calculated pickup. Just be strategic about it, know your roster, know your league depth, and don't get attached to his numbers, because when the Nuggets get healthy, his value can drop pretty fast. Next up, we have my guy of the week, and that is going to be Tristan da Silva. And while I'm recording this, I just saw this man cook up the Houston Rockets, and trust me, you want to go pick him up if he is free in your league. Now, with Paolo Banchero expected to miss at least the next week, possibly longer depending on how the groin injury responds over time, the Magic suddenly have a huge hole in both usage and front court creativity. And Da Silva is the one player in the roster who checks almost every single box that they need, with spacing, cutting, defensive discipline, and the ability to fit next to multiple play styles. This isn't just about opportunity, it's about fit right now. When you watch the Magic play, De Silva looks like he belongs on the court there. He doesn't force bad shots, he defends well enough to stay on the floor, and he's already earned the trust of the coaching staff in Orlando. All the correct ingredients for a breakout streamer are starting to show themselves. Now, the one thing I tell people to watch out for was Desmond Bane potentially cannibalizing some of Silva's usage, but honestly, so far in the 3-game sample size that we have, that has not been the case so far. Silva has found ways to produce without needing to be ball heavy. He's scoring efficiently, playing within the flow of the game, and benefiting from the attention that Wagner and Bane draw while on the court. So here's the move. If I was you, I would add him, which I didn't. I would hold him, which I am, and ride it out for at least this entire week because he is going to give you a ton of fantasy points. As long as Banchero is on the mend, De Silva is going to have every single opportunity to give you solid, stable production. And if he does end up being more than what I think he's going to be, you're ahead of your whole league while everyone else tries to scramble to pick him up later. Next on the list, we have the big man from Memphis, and that is going to be Zach Edey. He finally returned from his injury, and in his first game back, you can instantly feel his impact on the court. Even though the Grizzlies took the loss, Edey still looks strong, confident, and completely in rhythm while on the court. He played essentially his full allotment of minutes, around 25 minutes or so, and that's a huge sign for what's coming next for Zach Edey. Over the next couple of weeks, you should expect the workload to climb. Memphis desperately needs size, interior defense, and stability in the front court, and Edey gives them all three of these things. He's also one of those players whose production isn't tied to usage. He can rebound, block shots, and finish plays. He doesn't need a ton of touches to make a huge fantasy impact. So I'm going to make this absolutely clear for you guys who are still hesitant. If Edey is free in your league, he is a must-add player. Not for now, for the rest of the season. Not a streamer, not a temporary injury fill-in, a player who you pick up now and you do not drop. With his minutes ramping up and Memphis eventually going to start leaning in on him more, this is the perfect window to grab him now before the breakout game does happen and then the rest of your league realizes what's happening. Now, Dennis Jenkins is a player that I have purposely not talked about on this channel over the last week. But heading into week 5, it's finally time. I'm going to mention his name. Dennis Jenkins has been absolutely playing lights out for the Detroit Pistons over the past week. But before you rush to add him, just wait 1 second. Please just wait. You need to understand why this is happening before you just chase the numbers. Detroit is dealing right now with a massive wave of injuries that I do not see lasting for the long term, but it is currently happening. Cade Cunningham is out, Asar Thompson is out, Jalen DeVren is out, Tobias Harris is out, Jaden Ivey still hasn't came back from his injury. The entire rotation has been shuffled because of these injuries, and Jenkins is benefiting from the minutes and usage that he simply wouldn't get underneath normal circumstances. The moment that Cade and Asar come back, Jenkins is a drop. Do not hold him, do not try to wait and see. His role is going to shrink immediately. And with that being said, if Jenkins is free in your league right now and the starters are expected to miss more time, then yes, you need to go pick him up. He's absolutely worth a short-term pickup. He is producing at a high level, he's confident, and he's getting real opportunity right now in the NBA. The last player I want to talk about is going to be Najee Marshall. Last season, Najee shocked the entire fantasy world, including the NBA world, with that mini insanity run that he put on. And a lot of managers have been waiting to find that same type of breakout again when it happens to Najee Marshall, but so far this year, it hasn't hit the same. But this might be the week things finally start to line up for him. With Anthony Davis expected to miss another full week because of that calf injury he sustained, the Mavericks are desperate for production on the whole wing. Add in PJ Washington dealing with an injury on his own, and suddenly Marshall has a clear path for real minutes and usage. He's not a rest of season player, and he's not someone you should expect to bring in 30-point explosions from him every single day. But with the rotation as thin as it is, Marshall is absolutely worth the pickup. He should have the freedom to make plays next to Williams and Flagg, and he could give you exactly the kind of stable production that you need to get through week 5. If you're looking for short-term value, Najee makes a lot of sense to me right now. Those are going to be my 6 players I'm targeting this week. If you want to get ahead of your league and make real separation in the standings, making moves like these are how you stay one step ahead of everyone else who's waiting for the breakout to happen. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, don't click off just yet. Give me a moment. Watch the video right now on your screen where I break down the top trade targets that you need to go after right now to stay competitive in your fantasy basketball leagues. These are the players who can absolutely change the direction of your season. Thanks for stopping by the corner. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.